Senator Hill.
Thank you, Madam President. I move Senate Joint Resolution 18 and ask that it be read at length.
Please proceed, Mr. Carpenter. Read the resolution at length.
Senate Joint Resolution 18 by Senators Garcia and Hill, Representatives Crawford and Snyder, concerning declaring Colorado to be the most fitting permanent location for the United States Space Command, and in connection with urging the Department of Defense to keep the United States Space Command in Colorado. Whereas our nation and the world have significantly benefited from technological and scientific advances resulting from space exploration and aerospace activities, and Colorado is paving the way for new discoveries in the frontiers of space by having a rich history in aerospace development and being at the forefront of space travel, exploration, and aerospace research. And whereas Colorado is ranked #1 in the country for aerospace employment with a strategically located aerospace center of excellence with over 30,000 Coloradans directly employed in aerospace at a payroll exceeding $3.9 billion. An aerospace cluster that supports more than 190,000 jobs, and 7.5% of Colorado's labor income derived from Department of Defense employment, and 6.5% of the state's gross state product that is DOD related. And whereas Colorado is a leader for business growth, with the #1 economy in the country in 2019 according to the U.S. News and World Report, and ranked 4th in high-tech employment and 4th in the State Technology and Science Index, supporting Colorado's position as a top aerospace state economy and workforce. And whereas Colorado's aerospace industry is home to a broad range of companies that create products and systems for commercial, military, and civil space applications, such as spacecraft, launch vehicles, satellites, command and control software, sensors, and navigation operations. These companies include Ball Aerospace, Boeing, Digital Globe, Harris Corporation, Lockheed Martin Space Systems, Northrop Grumman, Raytheon, Sierra Nevada Corporation, Teledyne Brown Engineering, and United Launch Alliance, which make up aerospace sector. And whereas Colorado is uniting global partners around the world to ensure space access for developing nations via the first planned United Nations space mission, Sierra Nevada Corporation, located in Louisville, Colorado, together with the United Nations Office for Outer Space Affairs, will use its Dream Chaser spacecraft to allow developing countries the opportunity to develop and fly microgravity payloads for an extended duration in orbit. And whereas Colorado has an existing educated workforce ranked 2nd in the nation, with residents with a bachelor's degree or higher, and a pipeline of higher institutions to sustain future growth. We are home to the United States Air Force Academy and many colleges and universities, including the University of Colorado Boulder and the University of Colorado, Colorado Springs, Colorado School of Mines, Colorado State University, Metropolitan State University of Denver, University of Denver, Colorado Mesa University, and Fort Lewis College. Altogether, they provide access to world-class aerospace-related degrees and offer aerospace companies one of the country's most educated workforces. And whereas Colorado is home to some of the most prestigious research institutions, such as the Laboratory for Atmospheric and Space Physics at the University of Colorado Boulder. It began in 1948, a decade before NASA, and is the world's only research institute to have sent instruments to all 8 planets and to Pluto, combining all aspects of space exploration through science, engineering, mission operations, and scientific data analysis. And whereas Colorado is also home to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's Space Weather Prediction Center, a world-leading center of predictions of the solar and near-Earth space environment, and the nation's official source for watches, warnings, and alerts of incoming solar storms, using satellite observations to protect and save lives and property. And whereas Colorado is strategically located at the center of our national and space defense, we are the home of 5 key strategic military commands: North American Aerospace Defense Command, United States Northern Command, United States Strategic Command's Joint Functional Component Command for Space Missile Warning Center, United States Air Force Space Command, and the United States Army Space and Missile Defense Command, Army Forces Strategic Command, and 5 military installations, including United States Air Force Bases Buckley, Cheyenne Mountain, Peterson, and Schreiber, and Fort Carson Army Base. And whereas the 460th Space Wing at Buckley Air Force Base provides operational command and control of 3 constellations of space-based infrared missile warning systems, has been defending America continuously since 1970, and is a critical part of global defense and national security. And whereas, Colorado is already the center of the United States military space operations and strategy. According to the Colorado Space Coalition, the state's military commands are the primary customers for space-based research, development, acquisitions, and operations, representing nearly 90% of space-related expenditure of the military. Moving the United States Space Command to any other location other than Colorado will be incredibly disruptive to the national defense strategy. In addition, it will cause a major upheaval in existing infrastructure and jobs in the state, which will result in higher costs and less efficient outcomes for the United States military. And whereas, Colorado leads the charge in bringing current and future global positioning systems assets to life. A service provided free to the world by Air Force Space Command in Colorado Springs. From the operation of GPS satellites by Scharber Air Force Base to GPS-3, the most powerful GPS satellite to date, being designed and built by Lockheed Martin and launched by United Launch Alliance from Raytheon, developing the command and control capabilities. And with companies such as Boeing, Harris Corporation, Braxton Technologies, and Infinity Systems Engineering also supporting GPS development and operations from locations in Colorado. Our GPS technologies enable an integral part of our global economy to have an incalculable impact that has improved the everyday lives of billions of people around the world. And whereas, various organizations are key to Colorado's prominence in aerospace, such as the Colorado Space Coalition, a group of industry stakeholders working to make Colorado a center of excellence for aerospace. The Colorado Space Business Roundtable, working to bring together aerospace stakeholders from the industry, government, and academia for roundtable discussions and business development to encourage grassroots citizen participation in aerospace issues. The Colorado Chapter of Citizens for Space Exploration, whose mission is to promote better understanding of aerospace and its importance in our economy and daily lives, as well as to promote the importance of human space exploration. Manufacturer's Edge, a statewide manufacturing assistance center that encourages the strength and competitiveness of Colorado manufacturers by providing on-site technical assistance through coaching, training, and consulting, by providing collaboration-focused industry programs, and by leveraging government, university, and economic development partnerships. And the Space Foundation, founded in 1983, with its world headquarters in Colorado Springs, Colorado, which holds an annual space symposium bringing together civil, commercial, and national security space leaders from around the world to discuss, address, and plan for the future of space. Now therefore, be resolved by the Senate of the 72nd General Assembly of the State of Colorado, and the House of Representatives concurring herein, that we, the members of the Colorado General Assembly, recognize Colorado's unique point of military installations and major commands, private aerospace companies, academic and research institutions, government entities, and the valuable synergies that this ecosystem produces, strongly urge the Department of Defense to keep the existing United States Space Combatant Command in Colorado. Furthermore, we strongly urge the Department of Defense to permanently base the United States Space Command, USS Spacecom, in Colorado, to recognize that Colorado provides the existing command structure, base infrastructure, and communications platforms necessary to successfully host additional national security initiatives and ensure coordination of efforts without committing restricted additional funds. Proudly express that Colorado has deep ties with the Department of Defense and immense patriotic commitment to providing for the nation's security and bolstering our defense. Express our most sincere and deepest appreciation to our service members and civilian employees working in and supporting military and civilian aerospace companies, military installations, and civil organizations in Colorado, and hereby declare Colorado to be the prime location for USS Spacecom. Be it further resolved that copies of this joint resolution be sent to President Donald J. Trump, Vice President Michael R. Pence, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, Senate Minority Leader Charles E. Schumer, Senator Michael Bennett, Senator Cory Gardner, Congresswoman Diana DeGette, Congressman Jimmy Deuce, Congressman Scott Tipton, Congressman Ken Buck, Congressman Doug Hamel, Congressman Jason Crow, Congressman Ed Perlmutter, Jim Bridenstine, NASA Administrator, James W. Morehart, NASA Deputy Administrator, Steve Dixon, Federal Aviation Administration Administrator Governor Jared Polis, Lieutenant Governor Diane Primavera, Major General Michael A. Lowe, the Adjutant General of Colorado National Guard Wayne R. Monteith, Associate Administrator for Commercial Space Transportation at the Federal Aviation Administration, General John W. J. Raymond, Air Force Space Commander, Colonel Jacob Middleton, United States Air Force Commander, Aerospace Data Facility of Colorado, Betty Sapp, Director, National Reconnaissance Office, Ross Garlick Bell, Executive Director, Aerospace States Association, Thomas E. Zelborg, Chief Executive Officer, Space Foundation, Dr. Ronald Sega, Co-Chair, Colorado Space Coalition, Michael Gass, Co-Chair, Colorado Space Coalition, and Stacy McCord, Chair, Colorado Citizen Space Exploration.
Mr. President.
Thank you, Madam President. Members, thank you for being patient this morning. This is a really important resolution. Having to be joined by my good colleague from El Paso County, I'm excited to present you Senate Joint Resolution 18 concerning keeping Colorado Space Command here in Colorado. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for Colorado to serve as the new permanent home for the United States Space Command. And I'm excited about this opportunity, not only as a proud Coloradan, as a United States Marine, but also as a father of the future Air Force Academy graduate. Colorado's rich military presence makes Colorado key for what would be a wonderful opportunity to call Space Command here home. Beyond our preparedness with the Space Command Center will enhance our already thriving economy and bring great pride to Colorado everywhere. So I'd encourage you to vote for this resolution.
Senator Hill.
Thank you, Madam President. Colleagues, if I'd known how long that resolution was, maybe we could have been a little more strategic about reading it at length. The reality though is we read a bunch of stuff off, and it's easy to say that just the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, but the reality is that's a truncated version of how important space, aerospace, the Space Command is to Colorado. And it's not just important from a military side, it's easy to think on that, but to recognize from what we do to mines and rare earth elements and what we are building our satellites with, to the work and Joe Rice and Lockheed Martin, this advanced manufacturing, all of this stuff we talk about in Education Committee, all of this stuff we talk about in using responsibly our natural resources, all the things we talk about in Technology Committee, all of that comes together with Space Command as part of the future of our nation, the future of national security in the United States. There is no better place in the United States for Space Command to be headquartered than right here in Colorado. So it's an honor to be a part of it, a bipartisan effort, from a state level effort, from the governor down to the state senate and the state house, our local elected officials all saying Colorado is the best place possible to locate Space Command. And we ask for your support, ask for your encouragement, ask for your continued advocacy on behalf of not just present Coloradans that are involved, but future Coloradans, our children and our children's children, who will have richer opportunities, a richer future to be a part of this national security space by having Space Command located right here. Colleagues, respectfully ask for support.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none. The motion is the adoption of Senate Joint Resolution 18. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 34 ayes, 0 noes, and 1 excused, Senate Joint Resolution 18 is adopted.